Yeah, I wanted to also add on the customer service, because I'm a little meticulous with that, with presentation.
Yes, okay.
Because, like the one was saying, she might bring in snacks, she might do this, you might have another way of doing it. Like, if it was me with the business, you might take the stuff that they bring, put it in a nice bag, or put in some tissue, wrap it with a ribbon, because they might be giving it to a girlfriend, or, give them a bottle of water. Anything is like the presentation, it takes them in that comfort zone, like, oh, I feel so special. And she was just thinking about me, or they were thinking about me. Because it's always custom. Even if they walk in there mad, by the time they open that bag or whatever it is that, that you're selling out there, they can be like, you know what, I'll come back again. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was having a bad day. So it's kind of like a mindset thing.
And with the employees, the same thing. You give them something like this to make them
make them feel
appreciated.
Right, and see the snacks or the lunch, or that was for the employees, for the customers. Because I'll be working with individuals that's learning, it may be a pack with pencils or paper or something like that. But as far as my employees, if they can walk into the lunchroom and see that me as their employee have provided something, then they're like, oh wow, she thought about us. So I wouldn't give food concept to a customer, because again, you don't know the health, but because of my environment, it will be learning supplies. It may be a calculator, it may be pens, it may be paper, it may be folders, it may be a back to school pack that's given to them. And it may not cover everything they need back to school, but it's a few items to say, wow, I've been giving my service to this business, and they care enough to give a little bit back to me.
Right, that's exactly right. Now, what I do, like Edward and I've done with other students I've had, I get freebies all the time from other businesses. Could you use this? Besides, I supply coffee, once in a while, things after lunch, just, it's my way of saying thank you. Okay, so that, you have to be able to do that. A way to say thank you that they can appreciate, right?
But you do it in the practice for ribbons. Because everything has a price and cost.
Of course it has a price, and you can write it off. But that you do, But that's not the reason you do it. I mean, that happens to be a bonus, but don't think of it, oh, I'm doing this so I can have a write-off. That's not why you do it. Okay, because a lot of times I forget, I lose receipts when it comes to that kind of stuff. Would I only do it if I could write it off? No. I do a lot of things to forget about the write-off. I don't really care. Yeah, I'll get the write-offs, but that write-off is not the motivating factor for those kinds of things. Not with the employees. When you're giving it to other business people and attracting business, those are where you get your write-offs. Those are promotional products. But when you're dealing with people around you that you want to motivate, whether they're employees or even the students who are part of the product, you give it to them because you really want to. You can't look at it the other way. Okay? I do the same thing. It's just the way of saying thank you. Hey, I know that you're there. Have you ever had any problems with put downs? That's another, I was just looking at that, no, but I mean, when people come in and they pick at you and say, here's a great one, you go into a store, and I've had, like, give me somebody else, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? Or, aren't there any men around here? Or aren't there any women around here? Or I don't want to do business with you. Like,
well, I don't like going to Victoria's Secret because of that. I'm sorry. It's okay if my husband's going to be there to help me, but I'm frail to a man approaching me to help me with my undergarments. You see where I'm going from?
I understand what you're saying, but people do that on all kinds. They do it on race, they do it on sex, they do it on all kinds of ways. And those are put downs. In a sense, basically they're saying that you're not qualified to help them. I've been in situations where they've, and I'll be honest about it, I've been in some neighborhoods, and I don't speak Creole. And they say, well, why are you guys speaking French? Right? Well, I do speak Spanish, and I do speak French. I don't speak Creole. But I learned languages so I could communicate with people. That's because I want to. as far as the rule is, or the way it goes, in the United States, the official language is English. Okay? If I go to Spain, I don't necessarily expect them to speak English, even though they're here. When I lived there, I had to speak Spanish more than I spoke English. Okay, if I go to another country where that's their native language and that's their official language, I'm going to have to learn how to communicate to some extent in that language. Alright, so people here feel that whoever is here, it doesn't just have to be Spanish, you've got Indians, you've got Chinese, you've got a lot of people. They don't speak English well.
No, more than
Americans don't speak English well. People born here don't speak English well. Okay? The point is, that's the language, so not everybody's going to learn it. Now, I understand your point. Okay, that being said about being bilingual. For business purposes, it helps. What's the most important part about any of it is communication. Okay? You have to, want to, or should, be able to communicate with your customers. So if you don't have the skills to do it, find someone in your staff who does have the skills to do it. Because you're talking customer service. Okay? It's not a question of who's right or who's wrong. It never is. You're in business. You want to grow your business. How are you going to grow your business if you don't reach out? Okay, it's part of the marketing concept too. All right, now a lot of them, I can't help you because I don't speak this or that, and blah blah blah. Well, you just lost a customer, and you lost a whole community of customers because they don't want to do business with us. And well, I'm not getting them as customers. Well, why not? Well, didn't you just tell them basically to go take a hike? Well, I didn't say it that way. Well, what did you say? Oh, I don't speak your language.
Now I don't know to speak Spanish. And
Yeah.
6 months to
Okay.
stay here.
Yeah,
That's
but you
I
see what I'm
tried for 10
saying?
years.
It's the perception
And now
that
I'm
you've already
speaking Spanish
given.
6 months.
You're given the perception that you don't care. That may not be what you meant, but that's the perception. Just like you're saying the same thing. And everybody speaks Spanish. No, everyone doesn't. A lot of people do, but not everyone.
75% only.
Doesn't really matter. You have people who don't.
25%.
And the fact is, since we're in the United States and people who are here, and not just so much Spanish people, everybody else, if they want to become part of the American culture, eventually they're going to have to learn how to communicate English. Right?
Don't go to the gym.
No, you're going to have to learn how to communicate.
Let me tell you, it's not just in language.
No.
I mean, I worked in a restaurant where they had a bar. And they knew when they hired me, I knew nothing about liquor. To this day, I don't.
Right, okay.
So what happens, comes the night they need me and I'm closest, they call me to come into work. And I even said that there's going to be a bartender. There wasn't. What did most of the people want? Of all the nights, they wanted liquor. So I said, well, tell me what you put in it. Well, I got so frustrated. And they laughed at me later. My boss did when I approached him to what I did. I was letting the customers switch their liquor. I said, look, I don't know, and, just don't overdo it. I said, but do it, in a manner that you could drink, And then in catering, the same thing. Many times I could get a job making $500 for the evening if I was a bartender. Because they tell me you're so good at everything. I don't know it, and I don't want to know about it. It's a brain thing with me. I don't want to know about it. I don't drink it, and I don't want to know about it. And then I think, I'm really hurting my boss because he knows that I'm always loyal and I'm always available. And I lost a lot of money because I'm not a bartender.
I've seen so many businesses that said they're going to be open at this time. And I literally sat there for 2 hours after the open time. And the lady next door in the insurance, it was a that's why I was so afraid because I've been watching these things go on.
Yeah.
And she literally came out and said, I have no you waiting for this person to open. This is before I did the whole thing.
Right.
And she says she comes in when she wants. She had so many customers run away because of that issue.
Yeah.
She doesn't work, she doesn't come, and she'll put it on Facebook, whatever, that she'll be there at this time.
And she's not there.
No, but it's across so yada 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 to that, and she doesn't show up. Sometimes she doesn't even open up.
Is she still in business?
Yes. I don't know how.
Is she on Sunset Drive by any
No.
chance? I know one like that too.
You know the wash money,
And
it
they
is,
get on there,
take
and
the
they-
check only for the government.
And the
That is the
customers, they
wash
get on there, they're
money.
like, I went by the store, and you don't want me to open. I came at 3 different times, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my
And the-
God.
yeah,
A big
that-
no-no. That's like a
But this was at Christmas
no-no.
time, and I helped with patches, and so, you know, those children can't have everything. And so I thought, well, I'll get them little elves. Well, it was me and 4 other people. Now comes 2 more people. She was supposed to open at 9 o'clock. Now she's somewhere else. So now we're socialized. We're making friends with each other. We never talked against her.
Business is like that,
But it was
though.
horrible. But she's still making it. She's been in business over 20 years.
Well, you know, then they either must have good rapport with their clients, and they keep coming.
Or their rent is cheap.